Tonight's homily is going to be a little different because I'm going to stay here rather than walk down there. So, you know for a fact something's going to be a little different. You know, today we celebrate in the church, we celebrate the Feast of Pentecost. Pentecost has always been known as the birthday of the church. It's a day to celebrate the church in general, but here for St. Margaret Mary's Parish, I think it's a great day to celebrate this parish on this, the Feast of Pentecost. And although many people read in the bulletin that we would appreciate it if you would wear red, a lot of people have their red on. Tonight we're not going to talk about red, but rather we're going to talk about black. You know, in history, back in the year 2003, under the direction of Monsignor Gaston, who led this parish for 17 and a half years, the church campus from 2003 to 2012 went through a metamorphosis. Nearly every structure in the parish, physically, structurally, was changed. The school was renovated to an office classroom. The lobby was built. The former church was turned into an narthex, and this church was built. In that span of time, from 2003 to 2012, a total of $7.6 million had been spent. It's absolutely amazing. $7.6 million. That started back in 2003. Now, 15 years later, on May the 9th, just about a week and a half ago, I made an appointment to go and see the bishop. And he gave me an appointment at 2:30 in the afternoon on May the 9th, and I brought with me 4 envelopes, 4 letters inside those envelopes, a letter apiece. And as we're sitting there, and after we had some chit-chat, I handed him the first letter. He opened it up and pulled out of that letter a check. It was a check I handed in for $15,852.45. That was the final payment of our loan of $7.6 million. We are now debt-free. And I say this sincerely. I don't know of another parish that can spend $7.6 million and 15 years later have it paid down to zero. That is absolutely amazing. It's astounding. This parish has pulled off something that's been around for a lot of years. And I've heard a lot of stories from the years that I haven't been around as a priest. And this is the only parish I know of that have been able to pay off that kind of money in such a short period of time. Now, I need to share with you just something, a little personal note, so I'm just going to get a little personal for a moment. I remember the day that, Monsignor Gaston and I and the other deans with the bishop, we sat on a personnel board. And often when some priest gets transferred, you're called in to see the bishop, and he tells you about your transfer. But when you sit on the personnel board, you know about all the transfers as they occur. So at this particular meeting, this one day in March, a little over 4 years ago, it was decided that Monsignor Gaston go to Mother Sorrows of Marysville, and I come here to St. Margaret Mary in Lower Burrell. And when that was decided upon, Monsignor Gaston said to the other deans and to myself and then to the bishop, he said, Ken, there's a debt at the parish. All you have to do is follow the amortized loan payment schedule, and the debt will be paid off in 7 years. That instantly worried me. That bothered me. And I'll tell you why it bothered me. It really did. It bothered me for a long time, not just that meeting. I brought that worry with me here, and it stayed in my crawl until May the 9th, 2018. That left me. I realized for many years that people vote by their wallet. And I said to myself, he'd been here for 17 and a half years, and he did all this with the people. They don't know me, and I don't know them. What happens if there's not a good chemistry there? What happens if people vote by their wallet and they don't like what's going on and they pull back on their pledge payment or decrease their offertory? Well, that 7-year plan can stretch out to 8, 9, 10, 11 years. It could take forever. That was very worrisome for me. So I'm here to proudly say and gladly say, and I thank you, that we did in fact fall short of the 7-year payment plan. We got it done in a little under 4 years. And I clap for you. When I handed the bishop that envelope that had the $15,852.45 inside of it, believe me, I was extremely relieved. Now, I've gained weight lately, but I left that office feeling very light. It also turns out to be that all of the loans that a parish might take from that needs always has to come from the diocese. Any savings that a parish has with the must always be in conjunction with the diocese. We are not, as parish, allowed to use a commercial bank. We could use a commercial bank as we do here for checking on a weekly basis, but loans taken from the diocese and savings account with the diocese has to work through the diocese. Now, savings account is known as having money in the Catholic Institute. Now, when a parish has a debt to the diocese, you are not allowed, and they monitor this because they're the ones that carry the loan and they're the ones that hold savings. You can't have a savings account with the diocese when you loan money or have money loaned from the diocese. So for the last 15 years, we have not had a savings account with the diocese. So I handed the bishop another envelope after we paid off the debt. He opened that envelope. There was a check inside of it that made the request that this parish re-engage and restart our savings account now that we're loan free. And I handed him a check for $25,000. So now we have a savings account here of $25,000. It's a nice size savings account. It would be probably in your checkbook a massive savings account. But here in this parish, when you look at the buildings we have, the furnaces, the air conditioners, it's a lot of money. But what we're going to do, obviously, is just allow that to grow. But now we restarted our savings account. Our diocesan Lenten appeal this year at this point, we're $24,635.27 over our goal. Now, when I sent all of you the letter several months ago about the diocesan Lenten appeal, what would be our case statement? I said back then, we would use our overage, if we did in fact had an overage, we would use our overage to pay down the debt. That's exactly what I did. I took the $15,000 some dollars out of the $24,000 that were over goal to pay down and to eliminate our debt. So that's what this year's DLA has gone for. Then I used the rest of the money plus some checking account money to hand the bishop the check of $25,000 to re-engage our savings account. And recently, back on May the 14th, I made another deposit into our parish endowment. Our parish endowment is one of the largest in the diocese. Our parish endowment is $603,676.06. That's a substantial endowment. Now, I've always favored parish endowments because you cannot, by regulation, use the corpus of the endowment for your needs. The principal, the $603,000, must always remain intact. You are allowed to use the interest generated from that amount of money. Now, I've always favored endowments. We're going to continue to grow that endowment. So at this point, as I have for the last several years, I have not favored and I don't favor using the interest that we garner from that endowment for our general operating expenses. I allow that interest to roll over and grow the endowment. So we have a substantial and healthy endowment of $603,676. It's a very strong endowment. Again, you should be very proud of yourself. You're also going to notice that, and you've been giving generously in the envelope called the building fund envelope. Now, naturally, we can stop that envelope because we no longer have a debt. We're going to stop the name of that envelope, however. We're not going to stop the envelope itself, just the name. So there's always a request, I guess. But we're changing the name of the envelope from building fund envelope, that we no longer need, to an envelope that will be called maintaining and enhancing the current parish plan. Because there'll be a lot here to maintain. We want to make sure that, at least I want to make sure that while I'm here, that this parish structurally is maintained and spiritually in your hearts as well. So the name of that will be changed. Also, just a few other things I'd like to mention at this time. You know, our pastoral council thought it would be a nice idea to kind of shift gears a little bit and have kind of a social gatherings more often. So through their impetus, they started a social committee for our parish. We, in fact, right now have a very strong social committee. We have about 20 people that are members of our social committee. And they have decided to restart the parish picnics. So we're going to start those again. Our parish picnic that we're restarting will be held on August the 19th over at the VFW grounds on Wildlife Lodge Road here in Lower Burrell. Then the committee thought it would be a nice idea to have an outdoor mass at the parish picnic. So I handed the bishop a third envelope requesting his permission to have an outdoor mass at our parish picnic, and right on the spot, after he read the letter, he gave permission for the outdoor mass. So our parish picnic on August the 19th, we'll have mass over there at 11 o'clock in the morning. It will replace this mass. Instead, mass will be there at 11 o'clock. It'd be kind of nice to have mass outside. And then I handed the bishop a fourth and final letter. And that letter stated that, Bishop, since we are debt-free, and after we celebrate our mass on August the 19th, we want to have a little mortgage burning ceremony, just something to recognize this momentous date. Would you be kind enough to join us for mass and for the mortgage burning ceremony? And right then and there, he said, if my calendar is free, I will attend. Then he left the office, went over to see his secretary. He found that there was something else on the schedule for that day. And he said to me, Ken, if I can change that, I will come to St. Margaret Mary's. And I received a letter in the mail a couple days later. He will, in fact, be at our parish picnic as a celebrant of the Mass and to be a part of our mortgage burning ceremony. Then I said to myself, when I walked out of his office on May the 9th, there's one other person I have to tell we paid off this loan and debt to. That day would not have been complete in my heart without informing this one person. And that was Monsignor Gaston. I drove back here to the parish and I got on my computer and I said, I always call him Jim, but you call him Monsignor Gaston. but I said, Jim, all your work that you did with the great people of St. Margaret Mary, and I'm sure you're going to be excited when you read this, Jim, we are now debt-free. Then I added in bold letters, and they say when you use capital letters, you're yelling or something on a computer. But I wanted to use bold letters. I wanted to express an enthusiasm in my heart, because I said to myself, I'm really glad the bishop can be with us at our parish picnic for Mass and our mortgage burning. But my heart said that Mass, but more so the mortgage burning ceremony, would really be complete if Monsignor Gaston can join us. And I asked him, Jim, could you join us for the Mass and the mortgage burning ceremony? Apparently he was on his computer that night, because about 15 minutes later, I got a response back to him, and it said yes. So he will be with us for Mass and our mortgage burning ceremony. I just said to myself, I just really feel that, you know, he walked with this parish so far, I mean, from 2003 to 2012, to reformulate the buildings. That's quite an achievement. Be here for 7.5 years. Now that the debt is paid off in just under 4 years, my heart says that he has to be here. I was really prepared that if he said he couldn't make it, to change the date of the parish picnic to a date that he could make it. But fortunately, he was able to make the date that we have. So just in recap, we're going to put these numbers up on the wall. So just not want to bore you, but this is a great day in the parish, our parish. From 2003 to 2012, $7.6 million spent at St. Margaret Mary's for renovation, building. May the 9th, 2018, loan to the diocese paid off, $15,852.45 check handed to Bishop Molesi, and parish savings account restarted, $25,000 check handed to Bishop Molesi. May the 14th, 2018, parish endowment grows to the largest number, one of the largest numbers in our diocese, $603,676.06. Our DLA for this year is over $24,635.27 over goal. Name change of building fund envelope to maintaining and enhancing the current parish plant. Parish picnic restarted August 9, 2018. Bishop Malesic and Monsignor Gaston both invited, both said yes. Outdoor Mass at the VFW grounds. Mass at 11 o'clock that morning. Mortgage burning ceremony immediately after Mass. I know they say it's... This is a great day. I thought that the Pentecost, if we could pull that off and the good Lord allowed it to happen, Pentecost weekend would be a great day to bring up these numbers, to celebrate the debt-free status of this parish. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank all of you, because it is great to know this parish is paid for.